FightHype.com. Sean Zittel here with the unified welterweight champion of the world, looking to become the first ever undisputed welterweight champion of the world, July 29th on Showtime pay-per-view in the four-belt era. My man, Errol Spence Jr. And Errol, man, just to start off, everyone's got a breakdown, everyone's got a prediction. When you do get wind of it, when you hear people breaking down the fight, what's some of the things you either kind of laugh at, or you say to yourself, man, that's just wrong, or even you guys are kind of missing this point or this point here?
None of them. I don't really care. Like, I listen to it. It can be totally biased. Like they going for Terence, and they saying that he gonna. I really don't care. Like, I find it amusing sometimes, and I take it for a grain of salt. So I don't too much. It don't bother me at all what people say. So because I know what I'm gonna do and what kind of performance I'm gonna put in, and it's a lot of people, and people that are really relevant in the sport saying what Mikey was gonna do to me. So, and I didn't get it at that time, but I took it for a grain of salt and just proved everybody wrong. So it's the same thing I'm gonna do fight night on 29th.
You just said you already know what you're about to do, and you know what kind of performance you're about to have. What are you about to do, and what kind of performance are you about to have?
I do the same thing I always do. Basically punish my opponent. So, I'm gonna put on a great show and a great performance like I always do. And it's gonna be entertaining. So hopefully he come with his A+ game, and he come with his A+ game, I come with my A+ game. We both gonna put on great performance, put on a great show, and it's gonna be one for the books.
You said I went on that $1 million a game. You said you were watching your Dennis Ugas on All Access, sizing him up, and you kind of knew, okay, I got him. He's enjoying the American dream too much, things like that. So how do you size up Terence Crawford after the days in LA and New York? How are you sizing him up in that regard?
Ugas, it was just like I seen little skits like on Instagram, because I don't watch the All Access, my fight when I'm in camp. I don't be wanting to watch it, so I don't watch it. But after I watch it, but I seen like the little skit on Instagram, like him showing like how he washes and stuff, and jewelry, and with his girl doing all the different types of kissing and all that. And I was like, oh yeah, I got him. Like, he glowed a little too much, So, and with Terence, it ain't really much to size up. I think he's a pretty private dude, but I ain't looking into nothing anyway. I know how he fights. I know his mentality, so it ain't really much to look at. It's just what I'm gonna focus on, and how I want to fight, and how my coach think I should fight, and then we put it all together and come out with a victory come July 29th.
You said you know how he fights. Usually a slow starter. You said if he's trying to download data, he's going to get a virus in this fight. Do you foresee yourself taking a lead, burying him early, taking the lead in this fight, and he won't be able to get himself out of that hole?
Nah. I mean, I see him coming out probably a bit more assertive than he usually is, just because everybody, saying that. So I think he'll come out a bit more assertive than he usually do. I'm not naive. I know everybody's saying it. I mean, he's hearing it and his coach is hearing it. So they, basically going to try to change stuff up and do stuff different. But yeah, I see him coming out a little faster start.
He's knocked out every welterweight he's fought. But do you feel like your punch resistance will be better than his? And along like Derek James, your coach, when he gets asked about the counter punching, he goes, okay, and like, so basically saying, even if Terence is landing his counters, my guy can take it. My guy is going to hold up and still keep walking through them. Do you feel like your punch resistance will be just fine against the guy who's knocked out every welterweight so far?
Definitely. I think my punch tolerance is definitely, taken, but it's just for me, I just gotta focus on what our game plan is and what we gotta do. And the objective is not to get hit that much. So of course, he's gonna hit me, he's definitely gonna hit me, and I'm definitely gonna be able to take his punch, but I'm not trying to get hit, that much. Just be walking in the punches and, just being a crash dummy, so to say. So, of
course,
that's not the goal at all. But I think I can definitely take his punch
and walk through those counters when need be.
Yeah, for sure. But I don't ever just walk through punches. I try to keep my hands up and try to block the punches more than slip.
Speaking of power, do you guys got two different types of punching power? Like Kell Brook was talking about it. He fought both of you. Like, does he have more of the quick snap whip power, and do you have more of that heavy-handed, just heavy-handed punching power, clubbing power, pounds you into submission? Is it two different types of power, you and Crawford?
That's people say. Kell Brook fought us both, so he would know better, and Sean Porter fought us both, so he would know better. So, I'm gonna take their word for it.
You think though, like, because when I read between the lines of what you're saying, I'm gonna break him in this fight. Is it that like that club and power is gonna pound him into submission? Are you thinking late stoppage, accumulation stoppage?
Yeah. I think definitely probably accumulation, and I feel like that's accumulation. Accumulation is worse than getting knocked out, because accumulation takes a toll on your body. You're getting beat for 10, 12 rounds. Those guys, they don't never be the same. When you get a knockout, you just knocked out and you're okay. But accumulation of punches and, you're getting battered after every round, that takes a huge effect on you.
I've heard you say that before in the past. I think it was on Big Boy's Neighborhood. You mentioned the same thing, that the stoppage is worse than like the one punch knockout. So along those lines, you've said you're going to take Terrence's mental, physical, damn near spiritual, in your words. Are you going to take his prime in this fight too? Because like you said, the stoppage is worse than just a one punch knockout.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to take his prime. I'm not going to say all that. Mm-hmm. But, I'm just do what I always do.
Speaking of his prime, though, have his legs slowed down at all? And is he getting hit more when you watch him?
I don't know. You got to tell me. You watch all his fights. You trying to tell me something?
Well, maybe he's doing a little bit of the Kobe Bryant when Kobe's legs weren't the same, but he made up for it with adjustments in other ways. But people want to know what you think, not what I think.
It could be, or he could be just more settled in and just more settled in the weight, so he's not moving as much as needed. Like, he don't need to move that much, but he feel like his power now carried on with weight class, so you don't have to move around the ring like he did at 140 or he was doing earlier in his career. Well, and you get older too, so you ain't moving it. You ain't trying to move like that. Just like Floyd. Like Floyd wasn't just moving all crazy the older he got.
Well, I remember, though, me telling you before the Ugas fight, hey, Errol, I think he plans on staying in front of you. And you said, well, bless his heart then. The old Southern saying, same thing to Terence Crawford if he's thinking of staying in front of you?
I'm not going to – if he want to stay in front of me, stand in front of me. Hey, ain't nothing I can do. It's something I can do about it, but if you want to stand in front of me, just go ahead and stand in front of me. We'll see what happens.